Hey guys, Tanner here with STK Cattle and Hay. Just giving you an update. I haven't talked to you guys in I don't know, 2-3 months or something probably. But we're out farming today. I'll take you around this disc. I don't remember if I've done a video about it or not. But right now we're working under some. This has been a 12-month fallow. It was in rye last year. You can see this year's rye crop. We were in a severe drought. We made 68 bales or something like that on 80 acres on that field. One of my other fields, it did a lot better. It made like 240 bales on 100 acres. So it's a lot closer to normal. That's actually only 2 bales less than it did last year, so it's kind of surprising there. But this field, for some reason, didn't do worth the darn. But anyways, yeah, we're in. This is what the ground looks like after, with nothing happening on it for about 12 months, like I said. So that field, after I get the rye hay bales off of it, will sit, and it'll be in about the same condition next year, and I'll farm it under to plant feed. That's how I do my cover crops on it. So you can see, or I don't know if you can tell from the video, but there's plenty of veg. Other, I guess what you'd call forbs. But I do this, I don't have, if I work under the year's worth of vegetation, I don't have to fertilize the feed to get a cutting of feed off of it. So works good for me. The soil seems to rejuvenate pretty good. So, but we're in the old 936 Versatile. The AC's out, so got the rear window cracked and the fan blowing. I don't know if the fan's loud over the mic or not. Haven't actually filmed a video with these Raycon earbuds on, so, or well, they're the bone conduction style. But once we get over this sand hill, we'll stop and get out and look and see what exactly we're doing. It's spent the last week going through this disc, getting it rebuilt. We've got about I think we've gotten over 3 inches of rain in places this last week, which is more than doubles our year-end rainfall. So I'm pretty excited about that. We still got rain chances coming, so we'll try and get some feed in, and well, we still got a little moisture. So here we go, we'll get her stopped. We'll leave the disc in the ground so you guys can see what's going on. So here's kind of look at what we're going through. There's the vetch. It's a legume. That'll provide plenty of nitrogen. We got pigweeds down in there. We'll be working those under. I've also bought a field cultivator, so we'll work it a second time after we pull this disc. So, but there's some mare's tail, some sunflower, but plenty of carbon producing and nitrogen producing plants out here. I guess we'll start up here, maybe. So this disc, it's kind of just a big one-way. It folds by unlatching these two right here. And these wings, for me, I just pull them, tie tie the end down there to a pickup, and it swings and hangs straight back and pulls in a big long row. If you want to, you can change how aggressive this disc is by these holes. There's 6 holes. We're in the 5th one. So there's another hole in here. We can actually open it up just a little further, if I remember right. But if you put it into this one, it looks almost like a moldboard plow going through the field. I don't need any of that. I don't need to be that aggressive, especially if I'm going to pull a field cultivator after. Obviously, we got hydraulic cylinders that leak. I pulled this thing out of a field. Had trees growing up in it. It was my grandpa's. It had been parked for years, probably since the early 90s, and I pulled it out a year ago. Went through it, put all new discs, all new bearings. Replaced the hoses. It had steel lines for hoses, or for well, and they clamped underneath this, so there's no real mount for those hoses, so I just kind of zip tie them to the scrapers. But we replaced all the bearings here this year for a second time. Kind of just a learning experience. I rebuilt this tail section, so you can see it's doing a decent job disturbing the soil, kind of sizing up the litter for that field cultivator. Your center section here, you can see if it wasn't here, it would leave this little center edge. If you make the disc more aggressive, the front point of these discs does get closer together. But it's not that big a deal. Like I said, since we're following it with a field cultivator, it's fine. These discs here, like I said, I put 2 new discs here, 2 new discs here. There's an old serrated disc here. Maybe I need to replace that and put a bigger disc right there to get a little further out with my tillage there. I just wasn't sure if it would. So these are the new ones I put on are 24 inch. That is about 18 or 19 inches. All the main discs are 24 inches. But the main deal is to cover that centerpiece. Otherwise, sometimes it leaves a gap and a furrow. Sometimes it just leaves that untilled strip. If I work a little deeper, which you can see up here in the main cylinders, I do have a depth stop, so I'm not working as deep as it can go. I do have depth stops on these cylinders, mostly because of the hydraulic leaks, so I could go deeper with the whole thing. I don't think I will. But yeah, this is what we're doing. Like I said, it does a pretty decent job working ground, getting in, and getting some getting some, I don't know what word I'm trying to use. It disturbs the soil. Soil disruption, maybe that's what I was looking for. But it does a good job. As a light disc, it's 40, well, it could be up to 45 foot wide if you put those pins on the arms all the way out, and narrows up to like 41 if I remember right. But yeah, it works really good for the sandy soil I've got. If you had hard clay, I would think you'd probably need to run it in the more aggressive setting and deeper all the time, where I'm not in that deep of soil. I don't see the need, I guess. So I've had really good luck with this thing so far. Like I Like I said, my grandpa bought it probably back in the 70s. This is like a 60s model. And he used it up until the 90s. Whenever he kind of just parked it because he sold all of his sandy soil. Just looking at something, got distracted. Saw some seed pods on some of this vetch, which is pretty cool. It's replanting itself. Let's see if we can get. There you go, seed pod on the vetch. There's seeds. They'll be black, dark brown looking colored when they're mature. Which obviously this stuff's not going to get mature or any more mature than it is now. But I'll bring you guys along whenever we're running the field cultivator too and planting feed. It'll be a, I don't know, 2 or 3 way mix, sorghum stand, hybrid, probably a millet, and some cowpeas. Get some legumes in there. Yeah, hopefully this. One thing I will note is right now there's not very many sandburs out here, and that's usually a big problem out in these sand fields. But I've got crabgrass, I got pigweeds. If these farms they would allow cattle, just let them eat what's out here. But run it as a hay farm because that's what the landlords want, is hay or grain. And I don't own a combine. Maybe I shouldn't own hay equipment or tillage equipment either. But that's what we got. So, anyways, yeah, like I said, we got the AC on. We got the water jug, full ice water. I don't have auto steer, so when I made that first pass over there, I just lined up with some trees up on the hill back there. That cedar by itself makes a really good target. I've used it multiple times. Anyways, that gives me a little bit of an angle. We're working, what would that be? Kind of, that first pass was east by southeast, and then, you know, north or west, northwest. There. Let's see. That's probably straight west, about right there. So we're working, you know, whatever angle that is. I'm going to pull that field cultivator 8930 Magnum, which has auto steer, so we'll plumb in a 5 or 10 degree angle with it, and then we'll come back and drill with that same tractor. So we'll put it in 0 degree angle, moving straight east and west. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you guys next time. Y'all have a blessed day, and hope everybody's getting a little rain.